Yes, we are a very efficient company, and big companies want to copy our business model, but they are failing because they don't understand that I started lean, and so it's easier to keep the company lean. I didn't ask for $1 billion in funding and then bloat my company early on. That's what a lot of these big companies do. And so I have the luxury of efficiency. They do not. Their companies are too big to be lean. Now, what programmers need to be mindful of is that they are the ones most likely to be replaced by AI more so than any other job. So if you come to work with a bad attitude, can't accept correction, you're one of those many horrible engineers with a unearned god complex, assuming you are cooking every time you do the most basic things. But then you act like you're jealous of your boss, you're jealous of the project you're hired to work on, you're going to be fired. It's as simple as that. Okay? I don't have time for you. I won't babysit your ego or your attitude. Our resources will not be used to pay your rent. You are fired. My life became far less stressful after I fired all my programmers and I just did the work myself. That's honestly how we built Univa to this point. My productivity increased because I'm brilliant on my own. A lot of people try to copy our story and they are failing because, no offense, they're not as brilliant as their manufactured hype has made them to seem. So, AI works best when it is used by someone who is already excellent without it. It's not a replacement for genius. Let me say that again. AI is not a replacement for genius, but it is dangerous in the hands of a genius. Okay? And that's how we got this far. I fired them all. I sat behind a computer myself and I did the work. It is people like me that are dangerous when given AI. You don't want a genius using a genius tool. We will end up outworking everyone. Your job will become an option. We won't need you as much. I designed Religion VFX myself. I wrote the architecture work with the assistance of a college graduate systems architect that I hired. I wrote the UI work myself. I designed it myself. I hired two guys to help. Some of you may remember this story. I've told this story before. But to those of you who are new here, I'll tell you again. I hired two guys to help. They quit. They said it was too hard. I already told you guys this story. Religion VFX requires a lot of math. It requires a lot of setup in the back end. We have to figure out how to optimize it for the CPU, then the GPU. Again, because Unifa is unique, we go above and beyond what current softwares are doing. We wanted to make a real-time software that does not rely on baking or caching. So we had to do things differently. We had to think outside the box. Then we have to test it on multiple computers. Then we have to test every single button on every UI in Religion VFX. And if you've seen Religion VFX, to those of you who have downloaded Univa and you've tried Religion VFX, you know that the UI for the grid distribution, the linear distribution, the all the different distribution types and every single effector has to be tested. Every single distribution type, every single effector has to work in a stackable, non-destructive way. That is a lot of math. And we have to test it on multiple computers, and we have to test every button, every slider. If there's a lag somewhere, if something is unoptimized, we must fix it. Then we have to write the shaders. We have to render it properly. Every effect, every effector, every distribution type. That's a lot of work. AI won't magically make you a winner. Critters will still quit even when using AI. The two guys I hired struggled with the algorithm work. They said the math was too hard. Even when I let them use AI to help with the math, they still quit because they said the number of trial and error before arriving at the right algorithm that actually worked the way that I wanted it to work, it was taking too long. After 4 or 5 tries, my developers were ready to pull their hair out and they quit from frustration. So, even with the help of AI assisted coding, the job was too hard for the college graduates I hired and they quit. One of them quit twice. One of them quit twice because the first time he quit, I did not accept his resignation. I said no. And I went and I grabbed him and I pulled him back and I said, I will help you. We will try again. And after a week, he quit again. So the ones who care the most will be the ones that win with AI or without AI. They are just going to be the ones that win in life. That's just how life works. I cared more than the developers. So, of course, I will be the one winning in the end. I wrote Religion VFX. Here's where AI will beat humans. Humans love to give up when something does not come easy. They think AI should just give them perfect code. And it does not. I'm sorry, but that's just not how it works. If you're doing something super basic, maybe. But when it comes to super complicated, sophisticated motion graphic systems, visual effects systems, that's not a push one button and get perfect code. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot of systems architect work, especially if you're trying to do something that has never been done before, especially when you're building something unique. No amount of ChatGPT or Claude will make very complicated, highly specific motion graphics math just work perfectly on the first try. If you think that's how it works, then go and do it. If it's that simple, everybody would be doing it. Okay? It still will take many iterations and many tries when you are working on something complicated and math heavy. Writing a motion graphics system that is as unique as Religion VFX is not easy. Most will quit. You will quit. When it doesn't work on the 10th try, the 11th try, the 12th try, you will pull your hair out from frustration. You will throw your computer out of the window. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. You've been trying since 8 p.m. You will quit. Most of you lack the patience. The one who will go farther in life is the one who sticks with it and tries again and again and again and again and again until they win. And because I had the patience, because it's my project, this is my brainchild, of course, as the mother of the project, I have patience with my child. I will teach it to walk. I will teach it to run. I will teach it to speak. I will teach it everything it needs. I will send it to school. I will make sure my child gets good grades because it's my child. I have the patience with this child. The hired help, they don't have the patience. They don't care. They just want a paycheck. They're never going to care as much as the mother of the child. And so I had the patience. I stuck with it when everybody else quit. Even with AI, with ChatGPT, with Gemini, with Claude, with whatever else, they still quit because they realized it takes many iterations to build something very complicated. Everybody else quits the moment life gets hard and there are obstacles. They quit. These are the same guys now crying that AI is taking their job. Oh my God. But the thing is, AI does not quit. You will quit. AI does not get tired of trying. It will try as many times as I am willing to continue to try with it. So now when I hire only for specific tasks. And when the task is done, they are paid and they are gone. I keep no full-time staff. Humans come with too many inconsistencies, and quite frankly, I would rather deal with the inconsistencies of an AI than the inconsistencies of a human being. Humans come with too many mental issues. I was getting headaches working with people. Working with people made me sick. I was literally getting headaches. I would have headaches for days because I had to explain and explain and re-explain myself to a programmer. And I was wondering why I had to explain myself so much to someone that has a college degree. It was frustrating. So much hand holding. It was too much. I had to manage your attitude, this person's ego, that person's attitude, this person's jealousy. Too much. And on top of that, I'm building high level systems that's going to be used by people that expect perfection. My customers expect perfection, and they don't know how much stress I have to go through with the programmers that I'm hiring to work on something that is expected to be perfect. And I'm extremely picky. I like things a specific way. So I am very, very cautious about the use of AI when coding. I did not let any of my developers use it when we did the foundational systems architect work for Univa. And I don't use it for design work at all because AI cannot design. And the reason for this was because Univa is different. It's new. AI would not have been able to help us. AI can't come up with new, never before done designs. It just can't. A systems architect work that's never been done before, AI cannot just dream that up. When you're doing systems architect work that's never been done before, you have to do it yourself. AI can only suggest what has already been done in the past. It's because AI is trained on what has already been done. AI has not been trained on what has never been done. Univa has never been done. So we could not use AI to build what has never been done. You understand? So because Univa is so unique, so different, and because it's never been done this way before, we had to use our own brain. Where AI did help, I have to give credit where it's due, okay? I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, AI is bad, AI, all of AI is bad. No, AI was very helpful when it comes to math. That's why I call it a calculator. I use it basically as a high level calculator, okay? Where my algorithm work fails, where my algebra fails, where my calculus fails, where my ability to think on a level that is above me, I rely on AI. I have to use it to check certain things, to check a developer's math, to check where humans make errors. AI will catch it. So for calculations, high level calculations, yeah, I'll take a snippet of my own code. I'll put it on Gemini. I'll say, hey, look for errors, find out where we can optimize this, find out where we can make this better, faster, cleaner, less lines of code. I'm a huge advocate for trimming code and not having a whole paragraph of code when we could have done it with 4 lines. Okay. So that's developers, the people today with these gigantic egos. I don't know why some of you developers, you have such huge egos and you've done nothing to earn that. You don't deserve. Uh, you've not done enough to be so arrogant. So uh, it amazes me, and I'm telling you, I'm warning you. God is giving you guys a warning with all this AI stuff. It's a warning, it's a wake up call. And a lot of you, instead of taking it as the wake up call that it is for you to become better at your jobs, you're instead sitting around, either you're crying and giving up completely, or those of you who are fighting back, you're fighting back, but not with the right spirit. You're fighting back with the spirit of arrogance. So you're not getting it either. Okay. So something's got to change. People have to do better. Okay. You got to do better to keep your job.